Hi everyone, Harry here to talk about the end of the road for Elon Musk's challenge to Jack Smith for Smith's subpoena to get the messages of former President Trump that were on Twitter, and moreover, the prevention of the company from disclosing which ones had been received. Okay, so remember here what happened is Jack Smith went to Twitter with a subpoena saying, you've got messages on Twitter, now known as X. We want that as part of our investigation into basically what turned into the January 6th case. And Twitter said, we don't want to give it to you. Why not? Because it's covered by Trump's executive privilege. And guess what? We're not going to give it to you. And they were fined for not giving it to him, $350,000. That probably set back Elon Musk a couple of hours. But they said, we're not going to do it. And then they brought a challenge to the gag order that said, you can't disclose that we have asked for this. And they said that's an end run around executive privilege because we have the right and the American people have the right to know that the government has sought this. So, it's always, what is Elon Musk doing exactly? It's not quite about the money. We surmise he was just at a rally for Trump just a couple days ago, dancing like a leprechaun behind him. It was very odd, but he is all in for Trump. This was an earlier time where he was saying, hey, no fair, but not because of his own interest, but rather we don't want to give this to you or we don't need to because of executive privilege. This was the claim Musk and Twitter, X, were making to resist the subpoena. So that was litigated in the DC circuit. And the argument from Smith is, no. We have a right to this information. If there is any kind of executive privilege possibility hovering out there, it is superseded, trumped by the need of the government to obtain the information, to obtain a warrant and the like. It's a little bit parallel to principles emerging from the Richard Nixon case, where the courts recognized executive privilege, but said it had to yield to a valid request for evidence. And moreover, the gag order was justified because at the time, it's the middle of a grand jury proceeding, and this would sort of, affect the confidentiality of the grand jury, which is a pretty serious and important principle that, among other things, protects, in the mindset of DOJ and actually in the law, the right of a defendant not to be dragged through the mud if she or he will not wind up being indicted. So anyway, the Smith comes in, says, no, we have a right to this evidence. We need this evidence. And moreover, there's good reason for not disclosing it in the middle of a grand jury ruling. And the DC District Court agreed. Then it went to the DC Circuit, and this is now a familiar path to us. And the panel agreed. And all that happened today, you'll often find news reports saying something like Supreme Court upholds or Supreme Court endorses or whatever. It's nothing at all like that. What the Supreme Court said today, as it says in most cases, is we're not reviewing this. So it is officially the end of the line, and Musk's claim is dead. Of course, it could come up again. There's this no precedent, and when the Supreme Court says we're not reviewing this, and by the way, this is the beginning of the new term, and they've considered all kinds of petitions for review that have aggregated over the summer, so have issued an enormous, what's called an orders list going through it. And this is one of them where they said, we're not going to take this petition for certiorari for review of what the DC Circuit said. So in effect, The claim by Musk and Twitter that there's some problem here with executive privilege or the First Amendment or the like is dead. But the final blow is simply the Supreme Court declining to take the case. So it doesn't mean anything in terms of precedent, doesn't mean anything in terms of what the Supreme Court did decide. It does mean something in terms of this very claim and this very case, which ain't going nowhere no more. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.